Many times that Miss Meadows, all them videos I have of Miss Meadows trying to violate me for parole. Didn't want me to come on parole. Had tried to violate me, tried to get me. They tried to act like I was on drugs when I was in that motel room, coming late at night, asking me for drugs. Them tried to get me on drug charges. Then Miss Meadows had told me, because I told her I'm homeless. I said that. She said, well, you can't carry any kind of weapons. I said, well, Meadows, I am homeless. I need a small paring knife to cook. And she told me that, well, you can carry a paring knife a small knife, as long as with your food supplies, your supplies. So when I had my storage, I never carried that knife on me. I always left it in my storage because my food supplies is in my U-Haul storage. But I showed that video in 2019 how I was at the San Bernardino Greyhound station getting ready to set up for the night, and I go in my purse, and there's a knife in my purse. They had put that knife in my purse. I never would have carried that knife. So if the police had to come up and pull it up and said, do you have any weapons? I'd said no. They'd have searched my purse and found that knife. Time after time after time, Meadows had tried to violate me for parole. Now you guys know all the videos I put up about her. I think those are my most watched videos, the ones I put up about Miss Meadows on her bull. Well, when I was here, now you know I had my ideas in Jackson, since they never would let me get ID in Jones. So since they changed my name and they've been registering me at the hospitals at Jackson, so I say my name Jones, but they kept saying Miss Jackson. So I go by the name Jackson now. But I know the law, and unless you're being arrested, you don't have to provide ID. Now, I put up a video earlier about, out of courtesy, when these police officers were supposed to take me into Hebrew, where they lied when they got me there. He said, well, can I look at your ID just to see who I'm putting in my car? And I showed him my ID, and he ran it, which is against the law. You're not supposed to run a person's ID unless they're under arrest. But he did it. So they've been having a really hard time. But I tell them my name because I'm not worried about anything. Because you guys know I showed the paperwork that I'm on parole. That Miss Meadows hurry up and got rid of me. Well, this morning I wake up. My wallet is out of my backpack. And as you see, it's wet. It's wet. The only thing in that is wet that has been tried to be destroyed, and nothing else is wet. My money's dry. The only thing that is wet in my wallet, I'm letting it dry, is my parole paperwork. To show that I've been discharged for non-violent offense. The only thing that's wet is my discharge papers. Isn't that something? Look at that. Only thing that's wet is my discharge paper. So they on their boil again, trying to pick me up. I don't care. You guys know I have no problem with them on their boil. My wallet out and it's wet, but the only thing in it wet is my discharge papers. So they would have been destroyed. So I'm trying to fix this beat that I bought. I paid $45 for it, and it leaks, and I see why. They set it up where it's supposed to be covered at the top. they set it up where the fluid runs down into the battery and burns the battery up and it pops and it runs hot. So you can't use it long because it runs hot. But sabotage has been going on for so long, and even in my apartment. What kind of government agents would take a course in sabotage? I've said this since 2014. But let me tell you what they did. I had this, and I've mentioned it before. I had this old blender. No, it was a Ninja, like a Ninja, and it was old. And they can make the new ones break down with this cheap stuff they put in them now. They don't last as long as they used to. But they couldn't do nothing with my older. So I come home one day and I'm looking to see why it's not working. Because there's no obvious reason why it's not spinning. And I look inside, the little bars that run around the top right at the bottom. So when you set it down, there's some little places at the top, you set it down and they connect. And the motor in the Ninja spins the top, the blades. Well, they had went inside and chiseled, because it was metal, not this cheap plastic they give us now. They had chiseled the catches down just enough so it don't catch. If you didn't know this, you wouldn't have never known what was wrong, because it was chiseled down so slightly, just enough for it not to catch. And that's what they were doing in my apartment. Sabotage all my appliances. My TVs. 4 TVs did not work. My refrigerator, freezer. They shut down everything in my apartment. But the sabotage. Even my sprayers. My spray bottles. I go in there because I was using them for different potions and spraying they different bugs. I'm going to pause this. I'll be back. Okay, so where was I? So they shut down everything in my apartment. But what government agencies would take a course in just sabotage, going in there? Oh, my bottle, my little spray bottle. This is not a spray bottle, but I would use them for insecticide and stuff and making stuff, my own portions of spray. And they stopped working. And come to find out, the little straw that goes, it has to have a vacuum. And I noticed a small pinhole in the straws so it wouldn't form a vacuum. So I would have to cut the straw short and put it in a smaller bottle and use it. I had to cut off what the hole was. That kind of sabotage. So, everything I've been buying lately has been sabotage. Again. But, sabotage. It's almost dry. So, what are you going to do when they lock me up, if they tried to violate me? Since these videos are already up, this paperwork is already up. Alright guys, so you know the plan to try to get me on a parole violation or something else again.